Okay, we got another nice stack to review this week. We have Army of Darkness Forever, number 4. It's like this position that I have. The sun beats right in to the comics when I do it early in the day, so that's never a good thing. But this storyline runs us from, we had the 1300 AD, or let's see where, 1300 AD. We go back to the original Sorcerer and Ash's girlfriend from back then. We get to see what their plans are, what they're hoping for Ash to do, and of course they're putting Ash through another event where he's got to do stuff correctly, make things work, otherwise things are going to go bad. But at the same time, we have evil Ash in the 1990s that took over Ash, and Ash brought in a computer geek to get him set up on the internet so he can put his demonic presence out into the world. That way, I guess, if he can figure out how to do it. And then we also jump to 2093, where Ash is hunting down the pages of the Necronomicon, and he's found some more pages, and they're down in this dungeon. Not a dungeon, just basically down in a pit type cave system that they're going to go down into to try and find the pages. And they find some interesting beings down there, living down there also. They end up doing some pretty fun stuff with Ash. Fun issue again. These are fun runs. If you like Army of Darkness, you'll enjoy all these. They give you a good variety. Like I said, you're going from 1300s to 1900s to 2000, almost to 2100, 2093 or whatever it was. But yeah, Tony Fleeks, Greenwood, doing an excellent job with this by Dynamite. So check that out if you like Ash and the Evil Dead. We got Capwolf and the Howling Commandos finale, issue 4 and 5. I thought it was going to be a 5-issue run. It's apparently a 4-issue run. Hopefully we're going to see more of Capwolf in the future and the Howling Commandos. In here we're dealing with our Nazi werewolves and Dum Dum Dugan and the gang out dealing with certain areas while Capwolf's trying to get right into the gist of it. While we have our little evil demon witch woman that's also a werewolf-like creature. She battles away with Cap in here. And yeah, it was a fun, enjoyable story. I'm not a huge fan of Captain America stories myself, but I like it when they throw in the bizarre, the monster effect to it. That one is a good example of a monster takeover being introduced into a base standard comic. Whereas a little bit later in the episode, we're going to get an example of a bad use of weird mythical demon creatures and all that stuff. Just talk about that soon. Let's get to Fearless Dawn the Bomb, another Nazi hunting storyline. This is issue number 3, and we're dealing with prison escape that's going to happen because we got the general, or is it the general? Yeah, the general from the Nazi group that Fearless Dawn busted and got tossed in jail, and he's pumping himself up. Got a box full of all kinds of interesting exercise equipment. And he's been bulking up to break out of prison. And when he does, there's a good breakout picture. I love that picture. That'd be a nice poster. When he does, our girls are there. They get all leathered up and go off to fight the general, and takes some interesting twists and turns. They set some traps up, and some things happen, and it's just the story's staying strong. I'm loving anywhere they want to take us. I'd like to see Fearless Dawn go on to another storyline, get beyond the Nazis, maybe a more current style. I don't know how far the Fearless Dawn world, what timeline it goes into, but then we get a different style art with another story about basically a planet full of women on rockets and a planet full of men on with jets, and a little story about them running into each other and crossing over. It's like you got these bombs flying into these area where all these guys are with the jets, and they think they're going to get bombed, and all kinds of other stuff happens. But yeah, it's fun, and we also get some fun Fearless Dawn outtakes in the end of this book. These are very enjoyable. I'm looking forward to the rest of this run and where they're going to take us next, because they have been doing a variety of different short runs for Fearless Dawn, and they have been a blast the last year and a half or so. But keep an eye out for those. We got Grimm Fairy Tales. Merry Christmas. This is a pinup special. Again, they have one for every holiday. I like to pick up the Grimm Fairy Tales ones because they have a nice little story in the beginning, and this one has our Robin Hood character working with some other people, and we have a certain Christmassy holiday style demon drinking character type thing that they're dealing with, and they do these short stories. They're short and sweet, but they're complete and enjoyable. I mean, they every one of them so far I've really enjoyed. I haven't been disappointed yet. And then of course we get our pinups throughout here. Lots of great pictures of our favorite characters throughout uh, the holiday season that they're representing. And this, I'm going to show you. I don't want to keep showing them because I don't want to give them all away, but I'm going to show one of my favorites of the Robin Hood character. I love this setup with her on the sleigh, the reindeer in the background. I really like that picture of her. She's actually in a happy place. You can get pretty angry. Her and our Jekyll Hyde character have some issues with temperament. And then we got Marvel Knights 2001 Millennial Visions. I'm like, okay, I don't know what this is, but I grabbed it, figured I'd check it out. And it's another one of those things where we get a ton of characters, a little bit of a story with them, and you get 2 pages per character. A little description, a little tiny story taste, or a little teaser of something that they've gone through, a little story background and stuff. But this one's a Man Thing, and you got tons of Marvel characters in here. You got Nick Fury, Dracula, Cloak and Dagger, Bullseye, Daredevil, Inhumans, Black Widow. I mean, there's just a ton in here. It's a nice thick book, but I love when they do these because every time I read them, of the characters I love, I think I know the characters and know all their abilities and everything about them and a lot of their background, and I always learn a little bit of extra from it. So that was a fun one because I expected to just be a Marvel teaser comic where they teased a bunch of issues and stuff. But yeah, when I opened it up and seen that, I'm like really glad I picked it up. A lot of these that you're seeing that aren't new right now in this stack are ones that either came from my back piles that I have yet to touch, or picked up recently at a 50-cent sale, plus I think it was like 40% off or 30% off or something. Ended up being like 30, 40 cents a comic. And you couldn't go wrong with that. Doesn't matter what they are to me when they're that cheap. I'll just pick up a pile and just go for it. That way, when I grab a big stack, then I can say, hey, you're going to give me a better deal? And a lot of times they do. And I get them for 20 to 30 cents a comic. So it's like, that's the way you do it. Go to half price books, go to comic shops, and they have sales and sellouts and stuff. Keep an eye out for things at thrift stores. And you never know what you'll find. You got the nth man. It's like I always want to say the ninth man, but it's nth man beyond World War III. This is issue number 11. The reason I bought it, this comes from 1990. Stan Lee Presents. It's done by Larry Hama, Ron Wagner, Fred Fredericks, Bob Sharon, Janice Chang, Bobby Chase, and Tom DeFalco. But I seen Galactus and this female Herald on here, and I know there's the gold female Herald, so I thought maybe that's who this was. But this is, being an older comic, this may pre-exist her turning to gold, or that might be a complete different character that is the one that is in here. But we basically have a military deal going on with a couple characters that they picked up, and she's being accused of being evil and causing all these things to happen, where the military had to go in to deal with these entities. And this other character trusts her. I can't think of their names at the moment. They're not anybody that jumps out at me, but like I said, the reason I grabbed this is because I wanted to know more about the Herald, Galactus's Herald in here. But we do have some issues with this like disease that's going around. You can see guys are just covered in pimples and stuff, and the military's trying to figure that out, but you don't get the answers because it's the ongoing story. But the thing that we do get is getting to see her and how she's dealing with Galactus and trying to help him with his little ploy to help himself and nobody else, and just basically keep devouring planets, not caring about what's going on the planets and stuff. But it didn't really give me much information at all. The whole Galactus Herald part in this lasted just a couple pages, so you don't really get anything from that. I would have liked to see more, but these other two characters, the shirtless one and the female, that's kind of like sounds like she's like a Russian spy or something like that. And they didn't grab me enough that I want to know more about them. I just want to get deeper on. I want to know all the different heralds for Galactus that have been represented in comic books. I want to know the storyline. Now we get to the bad example I was talking about earlier. We have Punisher number 3. Now I quit. I quit after the 3rd issue. I said I'm going to check out the first 3. That's it. If I like it, I'll go to the store, pick up whatever I need to, and I'll jump back on it. I'm done. They can have it. Don't care for it. Don't want to read it. Don't want this character at all. I wish they would have never brought him into existence. I'm curious what Eric from our Crimson Color Comic Club has to say about it, if he's still following it or not. But this one I like because I got the Wolverine cover, and that's worth it to me for what I had to pay for it. The rest of the comics, not worth crap. You're seeing our Punisher character deal with this snake, female snake type character. The past 2 issues, we've been seeing him dealing with these beast like beings. And I mean, come on, look at her. She looks like she belongs in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle world. Why are you bringing these examples to the Punisher world. I mean, yeah, I know we had oddball storylines with our past Punisher. They're the one that we should have never lost. I don't know. I really hope they bring him back. Uh, but it's like this new Punisher has all these special weapons. We're dealing with all these mythical characters. And no, I want a story. I want a story where the Punisher's going out there and punishing people that we know. We know from society, today's society, the things that are going on, the child traffickers, the murderers, the rapists, the drug lords. I mean, that's what I want to see Punisher go after. The bad military entities. I mean, I don't want to get a new Punisher storyline. It's going to take us into the Oogie Boogie world. Like, and she poisons him with her venom, and he has to deal with it while tripping out on certain things, seeing his dead family. We're getting more of that. Why aren't you avenging us? It's like, why are you doing all these other things? And this is what we want you to do. And yeah, no, they can have it. And this new one is done by nobody. Marvel Comics, of course. David Pepose, Dave Wachter, Dan Brown, VC's Corey Petit, Rod Reese, Lucio Perillo. So at least it's no one that I really like or know anything about. I don't really know those names that well. I've heard some, but yep. 50 years. 50 years of crap. Well, 50 years of good stuff, and now they're turning into crap. And that's the type of thing that right now is worrying me because I truly believe we're in one of the best times for the comic book industry again. And we're hitting that cusp where the mid 90s did it, and the mid 90s, the comics went to shit the second half, and they started out strong, and we were getting a lot of variety back then. But now they're just dumping so much ridiculousness out there. It's just. We got Rebel Girls, issue 3. This one. Yeah, Danny Harrell and Robert Ahmed working on this. Variety covers, of course, through Keen Spot. I'm a little confused by the storyline right now. It's been a bit between issue 2 and 3, so I thought I knew what was up. I thought the girls were able to battle zombies and stuff with their music, or they were turning people into zombies and stuff with their music. But now we got zombies hunting them down and dragging musical instruments after them, trying to get them to do certain things. And they find a cabin. They got this character that's kind of promoter, wanting to get them under his. He doesn't really have a label, but he's that type of character, portraying himself as at least, and trying to help the girls out while they're being hunted down by zombie humans and zombie critters. And we get to see a little bit more about what they're able to do, but it's like we're hitting issue 4 and we're really not seeing what they can do. We're still kind of like seeing them trying to figure themselves out and see what they're up to while other characters are trying to take advantage of them. Yeah, I'm a little lost. I still like it, but the story has me a little lost. I gotta go back and read it from the beginning, but I'm gonna wait till we get at least issue 5, see if the story's gonna go on beyond 5, 6 issues, and then I'll fall back and do a reread. We have from Image Comics Spawn, issue 349. I've been pissing and moaning about this one going on and on and on, and I want to see something happen. Well, we're getting there. We are getting to the big battle. We're seeing the angels, the demons, all the different factions tearing it up, fighting for the throne, and we're seeing them all coming together right now. And it looks like record-breaking 350th issue is going to be a big battle royal slam down type event going on. But see what happens with Sin and Clown and Spawn, and see who's going to end up on that throne. We got a lot of people battling for it, thinking that they can get to it and take it over, but a lot of them don't realize what's going to happen when they try and take it over too, because it's not made for certain characters and certain entities. They all want it, all want that power, of course. Every living being in hell wants the power, because you don't want to be the torturee, you want to be the torturer. Alright, we got Space Usagi, Death and Honor, issue 2 of 3. This is still going strong, still a lot of fun. We get to see Space Usagi trying to get the young prince somewhere safe, and while they're doing it, other characters are in danger, and the prince is like, come on, we gotta save him, you can't let him die, so they go to save him, and then they get caught into some stuff, and they have to deal with some entities, and we get to see our characters that turned coat on the prince's father, and what they did to him, and what their plans are, and where this is going, but at the same time, our Space Usagi and Prince and them, they all end up in another area and happen to come across a bunch of dinosaur-like characters that they have to deal with while they're trying to get set up with a safe place. And at the same time, while they're getting set up, some other characters found them also, so they're being hunted down by other people. But yeah, this is a lot of fun. Loving Space Usagi. Glad he's back in the comics. And I'm looking forward to issue 3, the final issue, and to see where it goes from there. And this is the big year. TMNT and Usagi are 40 years old. So I'm looking forward to see what comes out of all that too. We got Tales of the Bazaar. These are mummified, tomb style storylines. Yeah, Tomb of the Wailing Corpse from James Muskai and Joselito Rodriguez. That's a fun one about an undiscovered tomb that they come across, and they go in, check out the hieroglyphs and stuff, and find out that it's an entity that predates even our Egyptian times, and we get to find out about some characters that might have been here before anything. We have Tomb of Insanity by Mike Dolce and J.P. Vicious. That one kind of gets you. I did like how this one also goes to a different style artwork. I like when you get a good variety of artwork when you have multiple stories. That's always nice. Not just stick with the same style all the way through it. But they show that there's kind of like a tomb hunt online that you can find out, I guess, clues and stuff, and then try and figure out, and it gets you to the Tomb of Insanity, and you gotta try and open this vault in the Tomb of Insanity, and a couple characters have some interesting clues and figured some things out, and you get to see what happens to them when they try and open the door and get into the tomb themselves and possibly see what's in it. Then we got James Muskai and Drax Gale doing Victory Through Unity. And this was kind of a political style story. Um, you basically got a politician type character that's done some bad things. Gale that blackmailed him and gives him some options. And she leaves it in his hands to take care of things. And she thinks it all gets taken care of. It's like, well, if you're not there to see if everything's taken care of, things might not get taken care of. So you might want to stick around and not just disappear. You might want to make sure the job is done before you leave, is what I'm trying to say. Then our final one, another comic from the past, Multiversity and DC Comics. We have Thunderworld Adventure. Not a huge fan of Shazam, but I like to read a Shazam story once in a while. And we have the Rock of Eternity, where the wizard lives that hooked up Shazam and made Shazam his champion. And we have someone that's been stalking Shazam and learning more and more about him, and kind of like did some things to trace back where his powers are coming from and made his own Rock of Eternity type entity and came in to take over and kidnap the wizard and try and benefit from the Shazam powers. And of course, we get to see what he's created, how he's made up some of his own characters that basically have the same ability as Shazam, except for there's all three of the characters that our evil doctor has working with him, but they use his name, and when they say his name, they turn into these Shazam style characters. They battle it out with Shazam. Shazam calls for a couple of the orphan kids that have the Shazam powers to come and help out. It was an enjoyable story. I liked it enough that it kept my attention, kept me going, but yeah, it was probably one of the better Shazam stories I read. And the kids didn't annoy me. It's like I'd like to just see Shazam instead of all the kids. But I did notice, I don't know if they focus on all of Shazam's enemies being black, named Black something, because we had Black Adam in the movies. We have in this book we got another Black something. I can't remember the name of the character, but it's like, why are they all? Let's see if we got Black Savannah. That's our evil doctor. When he uses Savannah is the thing they say instead of Shazam. When he says Savannah, that's what he turns into. And like, why are they all same outfitted, Black Adam style outfits and stuff? And oh yeah, we also get the Monster Society makes an appearance in here, so we get to see them battle those characters also. But yeah, I'm curious about that. Now I want to know more about all the enemies of Shazam. I mean, are all the enemies that have powers considered black something and have that black outfit, and that makes them the black, the bad guys? I guess light, dark, all that. I don't know. Not sure where the velocity, felicity, uh, philosophy comes from for that. But oh well, it was fun. I enjoyed it. I'll check out more. Keep seeing if I can find ones I like or not. Otherwise, they'll end up in my eBay and get sold. All right, that's it for today. So keep following Under the Color of MS. Rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend, like us. Check out on Crimson Color Comic Club. Lots of great episodes there. We've had some creator reviews. Probably have some more this year. And check out my Instagram, podcast, all that stuff at Under the Color of MS. And we'll get back to you again soon.